Hi everybody, it's Rhiannon, and it's Tuesday here at Witches of the Moon, and this week's topic is being an empath and how you deal with being an empath. This is our co-host this week. Say hi. Hi. She just didn't want to leave me alone. She was going to be in here no matter what, so here she is. First I want to say that what an empath is someone who is susceptible to other people's emotions, whether they're good, they're bad. But it's somebody that easily picks up on the mood of others and can feel them as if they're their own emotions. I think some people have different levels of being an empath. I had no idea that I was an empath. I didn't know what that meant. I just knew that that I picked up on other people when they, walked in to my office at work or at home. I could pick up without the energy shift and without my husband saying a word. Family, I had no idea what it was, that why all of a sudden I could go from being completely happy and content to having someone walk into my office with a problem that was not mine and just kind of venting, and me being a listening ear to when they left. I was left with feeling that same way without that even being my issue. I didn't know what that meant. I knew that it was something that not everybody does. I think I started to take notice about the accuracy of what I was feeling. I see colors when certain people will talk to me or text me. Like my best friend has her own color, and if she's feeling a particular way when she speaks, it's not an aura because I can't see auras, but it's just a feeling, an image that I get in my head that, for instance, she's yellow, and if she's texting me, I'll sometimes get this image of like a dingy yellow, and if it's like a dingy yellow, she's usually sick. And I've never been wrong when it comes to that. That's how I started knowing that something was a little different with me being able to pick up on other people. And then the more I stopped resisting the fact that I could do that, I started to really take note of how I became when other people were around me. For a long time I didn't really block it because it was one of those things where I didn't want to. It was something new I was learning, and I didn't want to put this shield up and block it because I had this fear that I was going to mess up a gift. So I didn't really block it, but once I really, kind of researched what it was, how it made me feel, I was like, okay, I've got to do something about it, especially at work. And because for whatever reason, and I don't mind, but for whatever reason, people will come to my office and they will sit, people that I don't even talk to. And they, all the things that I've read, so that's part of being an empath. People sense that about you. People sense that you are a good listener, that you're sensitive, that they want to share with you. And, there are some cases, the people where I work will just come in, they'll shut my door and they'll just lose it. They'll cry out their frustrations of the day because, working in a high school is difficult. And, they'll vent and they'll fuss. And depending on the day, they would walk out of my office and they'd feel better. And I'd be like, holy shit, I can't concentrate on anything now because I was so drained from it. And what I've started doing is I changed my office around this year. And I've made it very peaceful in my office. I have, certain stones hidden in certain places. I have an altar that they don't realize is an altar. I have a fountain. I keep it very soft lighting, in there. It's just very peaceful in my office. And to where if they leave, I have a nice, calm, serene place to purge myself of that once they leave. You can shut the door for a few minutes and it's just quiet and it's nice and it doesn't feel as busy as it did when I had it arranged the other way with just generic office stuff. I'm very lucky to be able to decorate my office in a way that works for me, that helps out that situation. And it actually helps out the people who come in because, they come into one event and they'll sit next to my fountain and then they're like, oh, it's really nice in here. And while they do vent, they don't project out as much. So I don't get hit with as much negativity. It comes out a little bit softer. So it's done wonders. So that's one way that I cope with being an empath, especially at work, because at home I can kind of hermetize myself and I don't have to go out anywhere if I don't want to. But at work, I'm dealing with 200 adults, I'm dealing with parents, I'm dealing with students, and it's hectic. And especially some of the parents who come in and they're angry and they're frustrated and they're screaming. I feel like the decor and the softer lights and the stones that are around me, the scents that I have going, they're very calming, that even when the parent is in there and they are like screaming at me for something that I have no idea, I'm able to at least take some calm in that. On a personal level, over the last 2 years, it's been a very interesting journey. I delved more into my craft. I kind of quit denying who I was, and that was a very freeing experience. And I think with that came a lot more openness than I expected. I became very much more sensitive to other people. I mean, like before, yes, I'd feel it, but once I really opened up and just kind of let it out, it seemed like it was a bit harder to block it at first. I had to distance myself from a lot of people that ordinarily didn't really bother me because I felt like I had a block up because I was denying who I was, and what I did and the path that I was meant to walk on. I feel like there was a shield up already, and because of that, I didn't get hit with as much negativity. I just took and took and took, and sometimes it would burn me out, and I'd have those days where I would just kind of crash. But like I said before, I didn't even realize what it was that I was feeling. But I'd take a couple of days, and I'd have my good cry because it was just too many emotions at one time, and then I'd let it go. But once I kind of decided, yes, I'm going to come out as much as I can possibly come out, that I am a witch and that I can do this, it seemed to open up a lot more of my gifts. It seemed to unrestrain a lot of my abilities and my magic, and I think a lot of people feel that way. So when it did that, people that I was normally around were just sometimes unbearable, and that was really sad for me because I adore these people, and my pulling away from certain people kind of sent them into a spiral because they weren't used to it. And you can't really explain, hey, your emotions suck, and I can feel every bit of that, and I can't do this right now, because sometimes I just don't understand that. And there's also no nice way to say that to somebody. So I just kind of pulled away and concentrated on myself to get to where I was comfortable dealing with them and learning different ways to deal with them. I found that when I was going to be around those people, I always carried a stone with me. In my case, sometimes I would carry carnelian, and that does help quite a bit. Other times, I have a piece of fluorite, and I don't know, where am I at? Okay, there. I have a piece of fluorite that I will carry with me and keep it in my pocket. I also bought this. I'm a big stone user. It's strange because I've been practicing since I was 16, and stones and candles were one of the first things I got into. And so every now and then I'm always surprised at the fact that it's just natural for me to grab one. And people are like, they don't work. Yes, they do. They work. So I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling. This has just been a really long weekend, and I am so sorry. But anyway, I went to my witchy shop the other day, and I went shopping for a family member, and I ended up finding something for myself. And I had never used this stone. I know I've heard of it, but I don't think I'd ever seen it. So, because when the person told me what it was, I was like, oh, okay, I've heard that, but I'd never seen it before. I didn't even know what it was used for. And I picked it up, and I put it down, and I picked it up, and I put it down, and I could not make myself leave the store without it. It is a piece of fuchsite, and it's a beautiful stone. This doesn't even do it justice. It's gorgeous. It's a very pretty green. It does have sparkle in it. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous stone. And when I was like, I have to have it. I have no idea why I have to have it, but I have to have it. And this is actually a really good stone for empaths. So I'm actually taking this to work. I haven't done it yet because I knew this video was coming up. But I'm taking this to work with me. And I'm going to sit it on my computer. And I think that that's going to be a really good addition to my office. I bring it home every so often to kind of clean. I can't talk. I will bring it home ever so often to cleanse the gunk off of it. But I had to have that stone. I am rambling. My God, this is already 11 minutes. I need to shut up. Okay, so in short, being an empath is an amazing thing once you learn how to control it. Before that, it can be extremely overwhelming. I think, bullets as to how I deal with it. I make my office very peaceful. I try to keep my home very peaceful. I do use stones quite a bit. There are several stones that you can use for being an empath. Those are the two that I prefer, other than the carnelian. And I can't even say I prefer this one. This one, I feel like it's going to be a really good one, but I haven't really put it to use yet, so we'll see. Another thing that I do is, it's really important to do this, is that when you come home and you're from work and you just feel like everything is on you, take a bath, take a shower, do a cleansing shower, get that crap off of you. You don't want to keep that in your house. You don't want to keep that on you. It is exhausting. It is draining. I like to burn lavender for peaceful stuff. I like just to bring peace into my shower while I'm taking a shower, so I'll burn like lavender incense. I will drink lavender and chamomile tea. That lavender is my go-to peaceful scent. It may sound very generic, but it really does calm me. I will keep a candle burning because I just feel like that cleanses the air. It doesn't matter what scent that candle is. It doesn't have to even have a scent. I just like to keep a candle burning at all times in my home. But those are some of the ways that I deal with it. I feel very blessed that this is something that I am able to do because, like I said, not everybody is able to do it. I think on some level, everybody may be a little prone to it. A couple people that are in this group said that they don't believe that they are empaths, and maybe they're not. But I'm very glad that I am, and I'm glad that I am sharpening that skill. I think it's a fantastic skill to have if you're a witch. So if you feel that way and you're nervous about it, you don't understand it, learn about it, embrace it. There are things you can do to shield yourself from people. You can do a shielding spell to protect yourself. I have not done that yet. Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment. I haven't done that yet. The closest thing that I even came to doing something like that was when my grandmother was sick, and it did the job well, but it had some drawbacks. So I feel like at that point I wasn't nearly as well seasoned of a witch to have performed that and not have those ramifications. And not only did I end up cutting off being able to feel, and it was one of those things where, yes, it was painful when she passed away, but I had done this so I didn't take on my mom's emotions. Like I said, I had no idea what exactly I was doing. I just knew that my mom was projecting on me. Yeah, her mom was dying, and I get that, and she was sad all the time, and other people were coming in and they were crying, and I'm like, I can't deal with this. It was miserable. I couldn't breathe. And so I did a spell that actually for strength. And what it ended up doing was making me very numb to the situation because I did not quite word it right. And it took some years, and I'm still working through that numbness because sometimes I can be very cold with those shut off emotions. That is a different story for a different time, and I'm so sorry I rambled. This video is 15 minutes, and holy crap. Okay, so there you have it. And I hope this helped, and take a look at some of the other videos this week because I love getting the different viewpoints from all the different witches on this channel. I will see you next week, and blessed be.